What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Defying All Odds Podcast. We're back and better than ever.
Yes,
okay,
sir, we are.
Everybody, welcome to the show. Sebastian Horta. Okay,
Welcome,
What's up,
welcome.
you guys?
How's it going?
Happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we got a very special guest today. Why don't we just jump right into it?
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Sebastian is a senior here at the campus at Colombian University, where we're live from today, majoring in computer science with a minor in electrical engineering. So, Sebastian, why don't we start off with a few things? Tell viewers a little bit about yourself, kind of like where you're from and that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm a Colombian American, born in Elmont, New York. So not too far from here. I'm studying computer science with a minor in electrical engineering. So like that's been a grind, I'll say.
That's a challenge.
That's a challenge.
That's a
Yeah.
lot, yeah.
But I've pushed through it, to be honest. And I'm about to graduate this semester, which is
Congratulations.
crazy. Now that I think about it, it's not like hitting me right now, but I know it's gonna hit me in like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And everything, because like
Yeah.
I see like
Raf told us when we, Luis and I, our producer, when we both graduated last year, enjoy this time while you have it, because once it goes, it goes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're gonna blink and you'll be wishing that you're back,
no.
or at least reminiscing. Maybe not wishing, but you'll reminisce.
No, honestly, like that's how I've been feeling, because I look back on like my other years of college and like the amount of time has just passed.
right.
And I remember like I'd be stressing during the time, right? And rightfully so.
Right.
But like you don't really remember that as much, right? I'm remembering like the good things, like hanging out with friends, or like the cool events I've done, like the lore,
Yeah, the lore that you create.
The lore we
man.
create.
Yeah, for sure.
So
You definitely get a lot of that, and I mean, again, like you said, the more part you are from this,
Yeah.
then like you said, the more you start to think about all the good stuff, and while you're here in the present, you start to like, oh my God, I'm so tired of these classes, and so on and so forth. That's gonna get to you, and you're gonna get to it. I mean, I don't miss it. I don't miss it whatsoever, but I do.
Part of us still does.
But yeah, part of you will still reminisce and look like, all those times that I was stressed out, I was probably in a better place than what I'm having to deal with right now when it comes to the adult world. So yeah.
honestly, I kind of see that. I think maybe right now it's like I'll feel different in a couple of months, but it's always like the next step. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I was here, right? And you don't realize like how far you've come before.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like sure you're living in stress right now, but like the problems are not leaving, It's
Nope.
just they're gonna change. They're gonna get bigger, but you also get stronger.
That's
in
a
that
fact.
case. So that's kind of how I like view things around. So I know I'm gonna be feeling that later.
So how do you manage your time? I mean, we've had a lot of engineering students on here already kind of talk about their experiences. Time management is always one of those key topics that always comes up.
Yeah.
And you yourself, you have a variety of interests. Kind of just share with the viewer like what you're up to when you're not studying on campus.
Yeah, so time management's been like a big thing, I'm telling you. Besides studying and being on campus, I like doing things like playing my guitar. I'm also in a group called Sabor, where it's like Latin dancing.
Sabor.
Sabor, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually joined a year ago, and
It's a club here?
Yeah, it's a
or-
club here.
Okay, cool.
It's so there it's like performances, dancing. Also try to hang out with friends when I can, because I realize time
Yeah.
is passing by so quickly.
Absolutely.
You really do,
That's
yeah.
true.
And yeah, also I like going to jujitsu, I like strength training, things of that sort. Like try to like really keep myself balanced, because I feel like if one of the pillars, right, is missing,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not able to focus on other things, right? So I notice, like, for example, when I'm doing these things, when I'm training or just like spending time with friends, like focusing on all aspects of my health
Yeah.
as a whole, I notice like I'm able to perform better, like academically, also socially, different things like that. So
Everything kind of puts itself together in a way.
yeah,
Yeah, it kind of all falls into place.
exactly.
I want to go back to a little bit about the club you were saying about the Sabor.
Yeah.
You could tell us a little bit more about that, and just like what, outside of just the type, like what kind of dances that you guys work on, or just like, or what put yourself into getting in that space.
Gotcha. Oh, this goes deep.
Yeah.
No, it's because so growing up, I always had being the son of two Colombian immigrants, I've
Yeah.
always kind of had that sort of passion. They say like está en tu sangre, like to like dance and everything. My mom is from Cali, Colombia,
Cool.
and they call it the capital de salsa, right?
Yes.
So
Oh, I
kinda
actually
figured-
didn't know that.
yeah.
Okay.
So actually, I kind of figured I had it in me, right? And my dad actually loved dancing salsa. So I didn't really pick up this interest until like after he passed.
Okay.
And then from there I kind of grew to love it and just saw how it's like such a beautiful thing where like it's the number one social dance in the world, right? So like you're able to kind of really have a connection with like people, right? Have fun, and it's very enjoyable.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
when I was looking for kind of people that were in a similar boat as me,
Yeah.
kind of wanted to experience that as well, I stumbled into the club Sabor. And I remember I had a friend on the team who was telling me that to join, and I remember saying, oh, I'll join next semester, I'll join next semester. And then what is it? Around this time last year, I finally was like, all right, I have to try out now. I cannot do this. And I'm so glad I did, to be honest, because there the people are great. Like I've met so many of my friends there. Also performances, everything.
Oh, you had to do shows as well?
Yeah,
There's a
we
lot.
just had ours last semester. So,
Okay.
yeah, it was
Are you guys having any shows coming up? That you'll be
coming up
performing?
this semester? Yeah, but our main show is in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah. Also going back on the question, we do like salsa, bachata, merengue, like all tips in terms of Latin dance.
Right.
Also like compa in there too, like different kinds of things. So it's really fun, I'll
That's
say.
cool.
Yeah.
In regards to the reason why you joined Sabor as well, you say that is it like another outlet for you to also express parts of your culture? Like you mentioned, like your Colombian heritage, that's a very big part of your identity, and kind of being able to like share that space amongst other Latinos as well.
Yeah, honestly. So as I said, like growing up, there was a point in my life where I think it was in high school where I was like a bit out of touch with my culture. So it took some time to like, whether it's like with the language, like get better to improve at different things or like just learn more about the history or like culturally, and also finding things like dance, right? So I really
Right.
found that avenue where I can express myself and kind of live in my culture because of that. And I also, it's like very meaningful to me because I see it as also kind of living my dad's legacy. So he really enjoyed salsa, as I said before. But so whenever I dance it, I just remember like how, like, when I was younger, seeing him dance, like how happy that made him. And just like, it's a really good part for me to connect to my culture.
And
So-
how tapped in are you to your culture?
I would say more so now. Yeah, much more so now than
How so?
like whether it's like with traditions or like celebrating holidays, also spending more time with family, calling them, or like things like language as well that I've like improved on a lot since. Also like learning like history between it, taking like the initiative to like reach out to my Colombian resident,
Right.
my Colombian,
Your people.
Yeah,
Your
my
people.
Right.
and yeah, dance. I put a lot of emphasis on dance because that was like a big avenue for me that allowed me to kind of express myself more. So
Cool.
I really enjoy it. I'll say that.
When you go back to saying that you were honoring your dad's legacy,
Yeah.
you mentioned before that your father was like played a really big role in your life.
Mhm.
Would you say that his loss was definitely one of the hardest things you had to like overcome growing up?
Yeah. No, for sure. Honestly, it kind of puts everything in perspective, right? So I lost my dad when I was 17, and like that was like the worst period of my time. So this was around like October, and this was around like COVID was happening at the same time. So our whole family just was like really suffering through that. But my dad got hit the worst through it. So he spent, I believe it was 23 days in the hospital.
Wow.
So, and I remember always going to visit him. I was in my senior year of high school. So I had a lot of things going on. Like I was applying for colleges, deciding what I wanted to do for the rest of my, 4 years, these important years.
Yeah.
And I remember my brother actually worked in the same hospital that my
Wow.
dad is in. So he was kind of nursing him. So I remember calling him after, like, oh, how's my dad doing? How's everything happening? And just, it was a very stressful time, I'll say. So when it actually happened, I just like, you kind of see it happening. Like in my case, like it was 23 days, like everything looked bleak, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the news wasn't good. He wasn't recovering. But
Mhm.
so I think in the back of my mind, I kind of like
Knew like what was coming.
knew what was coming, but nothing prepares you for that
Oh,
at
absolutely.
all. So, and especially at a young age, I feel, because it's one of those things that everyone really has to deal with,
Yeah.
right? That's like the human condition, Like we come here and
Yeah.
we leave eventually.
I would say,
Right.
that you're guaranteed with, those two things in life, the day you're born and then the day you pass away.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's the very much like the basic guarantee that you have in life.
Yeah.
I think that you bring a good point though. For those that obviously know me, like I lost my grandma when I was, in high school as well, and at the same time, there's a lot of similarities. Like my dad grew up, was working in the same hospital that my grandma went to
Mhm.
before she was transferred to the hospice, and I kind of know, like being at a young age at 15, 14 years old, you really don't know what's going on. Like
Yeah.
you're still, brain is still very much in the developmental phases. So I can definitely see like why you would say that, this is like very much a hard time.
Mhm.
No one, I mean, I remember the hospice gave us these pamphlets on like how to overcome grief. And let's be honest, nobody reads them.
Yeah.
Nobody's like really can take it to the T because it's very much like there's no one size fits all solution to overcome a loss of a loved one. Now, when you're honoring his legacy now going forward, what's that been like for you to kind of like, whether it's been academics, dance, like, well, how do you
Yeah.
maintain his legacy alive, in your day-to-day life?
I think that's actually one of the reasons why I decided. But I know that's actually one of the reasons I decided to do engineering in the first place.
Mhm.
So growing up, my dad was constantly working on the computers, right? And kind of like seeing the passion he had for that inspired me to want to pursue that. But like it grew my interest in tech, like in computer science. So in a way, me coming here, right, especially considering I'm not necessarily from a background where these opportunities could come easy. Like I'm not like don't get me wrong, I'm very like happy and privileged to had a roof under my head or like had food on the table, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
And while money was always like something I was conscious about or like a topic of struggle growing up, like I'm still very grateful for these
Yeah.
things. And now like seeing my dad passionate about like despite having maybe less resources or like different things like that, like we'd made way, right? Like
Yeah.
we'd find solutions to things, be more resourceful. So I kind of like use that mentality and like my dad's passion for tech, things of that sort, to kind of guide me through engineering. And I think that's where I kind of grew that love for technology and wanting to move forward. So in a way, that is actually carrying his legacy.
Kind of like passing the torch or taking the
Yeah,
mantle.
exactly.
I see.
And I think once you have a reason behind why you're doing things, once you find that why, that's when all of a sudden things make more sense or you keep moving forward. Especially when you're trying to, I guess, stay motivated. Like motivation fades.
Yes.
So you kind of you need to have a reason why you're doing things.
Exactly.
And just constantly remind yourself. So.
Yeah, I mean, would you say you found your purpose necessarily with like through the loss of your father?
Yeah, I would say I'm still young, right? I'm only 22, so I'm still, it's always you're constantly finding your purpose, trying to find what things are.
Yeah.
Right? I have different pillars that really I try to stick to, right?
What are those pillars?
Whether it's like faith, my physical health, right? Trying to keep maintain my relationships, whether it's like with in my case like my creator or with my family, my siblings, my friends, things of that sort. So I try to like really incorporate these things when I think of my purpose. And overall, I'd say I just want to be able to help people on a larger scale. So a lot of the experiences that I've gone through before have like made me want to like help more people, like my like grief as well, like losing my dad. A lot of these things like kind of
They all build in together, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Now, sorry, looking into kind of like you mentioned, faith is also really big too for you.
Mhm.
And we've had a lot of people come on here. They say that their outlet is always to look towards faith, to look towards God when they're in not moments of despair and not feeling good. Do you tend to like look at that as like only when I'm not doing well, or do you also like try to incorporate it as like even when I do well, like I still look towards my faith. I still am grateful for what happened.
yeah, that's a good question right there. Yeah, actually, this is one of the things that I feel most people struggle with, and like I'm, especially myself as well. I feel like when we're kind of moving through like when good things are happening, that's when people are like, or even I'm guilty of this. Like it's not that I forget to like be faithful or like forget that these things can
Be taken away.
can be taken away
right?
at any moment, right? I learned that the hard way a couple years ago, but I think it's important. It's just equally as important to like be grateful, right? Like for the things you have,
Right.
and especially when things are going well and when things are going bad, because you always have something to be grateful for, I'll say. You know,
Truly.
even when things are bad, maybe it's like a financial thing, or like maybe it's a certain opportunity didn't come your way. Like you still have your health, you have your family. Like there's always something
Exactly.
to look at. So
So you tend to look at the glass more half full versus half empty.
yeah, that's something I've been working on doing more lately. So
It's definitely a process. It's definitely something that everyone in particular has to learn how to manage, because I think it's very easy to wrap yourself in your emotions. I think especially as men, I think we can all agree. Just like um, in general, we're all trained to just try to kind of like bottle things up or whatnot, and more often than not, when we decide to express, it's very like in big, huge bursts.
Yeah.
So I think as we as men grow, we learn to try to like, I guess like learn to maintain it, but not bottle it up. And whenever you want to try to express yourself, it is trying to do it in a more, I guess, healthy way,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So I think it's good that, I mean, I don't want to say it's good. How can I explain? Like going through these kind of situations, right? In one's life, kind of tests you on how to kind of maintain yourself and your balance, and try to kind of become a better man
yeah.
overall
100%.
over the years as you continue on. And like you said, using your father as kind of that push to become better,
Yeah.
not just for yourself but for him and your family.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good way to look at it, because I always think like, I'll look back on a lot of the events in my life and like, what if this didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Right.
What if, like, as tragic as these things are, and I wish he was still here with us today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd be in the same spot today if it wasn't for that, because
Yeah.
some of these things, like, they completely change you, right? Like,
That's true.
suddenly, like, you're looking at things you're worrying about, right? And you're like, what's a bad day, right?
Yes.
Like, if you still have your health, you still have your family, right? Like, I've already gone through one of the toughest things that, like, I've ever had to face, right?
Yeah.
So what's one problem, like,
Yeah.
what's one exam, what's one, inconvenience, right?
That's the best way to put it. I think that, especially as being a student,
Yeah.
we tend to look at, like you mentioned, a bad grade on an exam, or you didn't get the internship you wanted, or you missed out on a job interview,
Yeah.
whatever it is. There's always things that we look at and we're just like, wow, this is all of a sudden becoming bigger than who I am. What exactly do I value? And when we tend to do that, what ends up happening is we tend to take the little things for granted.
Mhm.
And it's like you mentioned, yes, losing a loved one hurts a lot. Like it hurts really deep down. And we always wish that, whether it's been your grandma, your grandpa, mom, dad, whoever it is, you always wish that they're here with us. The reality is that without their teachings, and we carry that on, right? It's
Mhm.
like once you realize they're no longer here physically, that's when you realize, oh wow, I'm grateful that I still have a house, a roof over my head, or I still have a plate of food on the table. And I think you put it into it best. Now, I also think back at, for those of you that who aren't watching right now, Sebastian is also a content creator and puts a lot of this into his
Mhm.
content. It's one of the reasons I also definitely wanted him to come on here. It's kind of um, Defying All Odds podcast is definitely centered around all this motivation stuff. So, how do you kind of incorporate that also with your content? Because
Yep.
I would tell the viewers as well, like what you're always up to.
Yeah, so at least with my content, I just try to be as authentic as possible.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of times on social media, there's this constant need to like fake it or just only show the positive, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that if you really want to connect with people, like I'm like when I post, I imagine like, oh, what would like a younger version of me want to see, right?
That's true.
Or someone who maybe in the same situation I was in, maybe 2 years ago, right? Like I don't know everything now, right? I'm just about to start my professional career, right? But maybe there's someone who just started college
Yeah.
who needs to see this or who wants to see, or maybe like a reminder. Like I always look at it to where if I can help one person, that's like,
enough.
That's a win for me, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
That's a win. So like I really try to incorporate these different aspects of my life. And like we were talking about things of like faith, right? So like that's a huge part of everything I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that carries a lot of mentality. And like you mentioned gratefulness. I think part of gratefulness is having a lot of faith that like things will be okay,
Yes.
right? So that's something that I've really struggled with a lot. And that's kind of been like a constant battle. Even though like I know in my head that, oh, things have I'm still here today, right? Like things I look back on things that like, oh, I didn't like it. This didn't happen because I got something better from it, right? Or like I learned this lesson, right? So that like mentality of having like that faith first is like really, I try to incorporate that with everything I do, right? And in my content as well. So
So for those watching, definitely go
Yes.
follow. I mean, that's eloquently put. There's definitely times where you're like, well, I didn't do so well, but I still got into this great vast institution of Columbia University, right? There's definitely things to be grateful for and what you're part of the journey.
Oh yeah.
Now you're also an avid lifter, right? So you're always posting content about hitting the gym.
Yeah.
Any
Man,
advice?
my man gets the gains. He's making gains.
Yeah, I jog here and there,
Do you do it more for the mental part or also for the physicality from it too?
That's I think it's both, right? I remember when I first started lifting, that was definitely the physical thing.
Right.
I was like in high school, I was playing a bunch of sports, right? So lacrosse was my main one. And I remember I was a skinny kid, right? And like my cardio was good. I was like running up and down the field, but I was like, I got to put some weight on now. So how I view lifting now is kind of like not only just physical, but mental as well. Because there's like a huge thing with like, whether it's you got up early, you went to the gym, you accomplished that first thing, right? I personally noticed that when I go to the gym or when I get that first thing out of my day, right?
Yeah.
That all of a sudden like everything kind of falls into place, right? I'm more disciplined.
Yes.
Studying more and everything. Like I truly think that exercise is just one of the most like important things you can do.
Yes.
Like, physical, mental health. Like it's like I can't imagine like myself without not doing it, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's been such an impact on my life.
It's the best way to kill laziness.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very much ingrained into your day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
and the point that you try to make is that like how going to the gym is not necessarily just picking up and putting down weights, but rather learning to create a routine and real habits that are going to last you a lifetime, that will trickle down to all the other things that you try to put into your life, right? I think a lot of people always have this misconception, is understanding that gym just means like, oh, I'm just trying to get buff, or I'm trying to lose weight, which obviously it is part of that. I go to the gym all the time. I'm trying to lose fat every single day, but I don't go to the gym consistently simply just as that, but because you get to a point where you start to understand where the days that you can go to the gym or where you don't, you often feel, I don't want to say ashamed of yourself, but you feel a little down. You have some guilt in a way, because you just feel though as if you're not completing yourself for that day. And again, you're always going to have bumps in the road, and things will affect you where you may not be able to follow your routine to the T. But I recently heard this where someone said that being consistently good is better than occasionally great, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can consistently do something throughout your day, whether it's not to the T as you have it laid out in a piece of paper, right? Let's say if you had to skip a day or you didn't wake up at a certain time, but you still woke up, you still did something.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? There is consistency there. Consistency does not mean that you have to be at 100 and going at 100 every single day. Mm-hmm. You'll have your 100 days, you'll have your 50 days, 20 days, or your 90s, but you put in some work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
Nah, you good. But
I was gonna say that's a great point, and I think like the consistency thing is like a huge thing. Like me personally, like I used to be in that I have to do 100% every single day, right? Consistency means that, and I remember there'd be days where like I didn't get everything on my to-do list done. I didn't get everything I wanted to done, right? And I'd just be down on myself.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
But and I think that's why a lot of people stop, because they have this conception that they have to go 100 every single day. They have to like keep pushing themselves like to failure like every day. And while that's important, that's where like if you miss a day, then you start questioning if it's even worth it. You start being like, oh, now it's not worth it. I missed a day, so like what does this matter anymore? Right?
Yeah, because at that point I think you're just looking for perfection.
Right.
Yeah.
You're trying to be perfect, and again, I'm definitely guilty of that. In being in this creative space, like I think you can agree as well. We all understand that, like as a creator, you always want everything to go just right. You want it to go, you want everything to cut at the perfect moment, and everything that you do, you want it in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And when it doesn't go the way that you envision it, you think that you look at it as like, nah, it's not good, right? And it's understanding like, you're not perfect. You never will be perfect. But if you do incremental improvements, slowly but surely, all those things will pile up together and you'll eventually get that, what you envisioned from the beginning.
So it's, the greatest aspect of life that I look at is, did you start your day off correct? And you also have to flip the question and say, did I also end my day correct? And I've been going by, those two questions, very recently. And also I kind of started this around my junior year here at Columbia, which was wake up in the morning, first thing I do, hit the ground, 40 push-ups. And then before I go to bed, it's the same thing. Then do a little bit of journaling and then read from the Bible. It's like you get 3 aspects out of the way. You get a little bit of exercise, get your thoughts on paper so you don't forget them, and also things that you want to do that are important throughout the day. And you also connect with God and your faith. And those are like the 3 best things you can do. And that takes maybe at most 10 minutes out of your day, at most.
Yeah.
And I think that, and ever since I started doing that, I also noticed, like you mentioned, your days kind of everything just falls into place. And you just have to keep stacking days. You keep stacking days, you're going to win the week eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Win another week, you're going to win the month, and then the year, and then you win life. And that's kind of like the goal. It's a little consistency that adds up, because you got to view motivation as the spark.
Yeah.
Once you view motivation as the spark,
That doesn't
it's like,
last.
and then
Yeah.
if it's not going to have like the continuous fuel from the consistency to keep going, it's going to run out.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to keep starting and ending. So
Yeah,
that's the best thing you can do.
That's why you need like a why as well.
Exactly.
Because that spark is there, it gets started, but that's not gonna last.
Yeah.
Like, what is your purpose? That's like the real question.
Exactly. Like, why do you decide to work out, right? Why do you decide to read the Bible? Like, what's the like bigger goal you want to do, right?
Or like, here's another one.
know?
You're at the gym and you set yourself to do a workout and you're like, I'm doing 3 sets of this, 3 sets of this, 3 sets of this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, let me do an extra set, or let me crank out an extra 4 or 5 reps past what I am anticipating to do.
Yeah.
You're building and callousing your mind to go beyond what you thought was possible.
And most times you can do it. Right?
Exactly.
Most people like they stop like shy of failure and everything.
Yeah.
Just notice it.
It's just a mental limit at the
It's
end.
literally mental. That's what it is. It's mental.
Yeah, it's all mental. It's all in your brain. I mean, it like you said with the spark, it lights up. It creates this big atmosphere of just like of awe, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But eventually, like that, that spark starts to fade away, but you have to put more fuel to the fire. But that fuel isn't just your motivation, but rather that discipline.
Right.
And that discipline is what keeps the fire burning necessarily.
Keeps it going.
And even then, like when you have those days that you can't push another rep, but at least you showed up, right? That's still just as important in
Exactly.
keeping the fire lit.
Yeah. These things compound over time.
Exactly.
Like, you don't see the progress like daily, but like over time, like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, right? Suddenly it's like half a year, right? A year, and all of a sudden, like you look back on things and you realize how far you've come.
100%.
And that's like a mentality that's also good to have, because like a bunch of things, like sometimes it's important to like have your goals ahead, right? But also do a check with yourself, like how far I've come, right? Like younger me would have been ecstatic that I'm
jumping for joy
that I'm here, despite a lot of things I've gone through, being able to graduate from like one of the top engineering schools in New York. So like that's me, like that's insane.
That's already a big, big piece. I always say there's a difference between being a doer and a dreamer.
Yeah.
Right? Dreamers are people that are going to have all these ambitions, but they don't necessarily have a plan to actually achieve them. Or they don't actually put the steps in to get there. And then the doers are the ones that actually do the work to get there.
Yeah.
Right? So you look at life like that and you categorize yourself, am I a doer or am I a dreamer? You could be both.
Both, yeah.
But you also want to be aware of like, am I building the steps to get there? Like I remember when I was here at Columbia, the first thing I would be looking at, if I wasn't in Butler and studying at the library, I would be on my desk in my dorm, and I got photos of myself when I'm younger, photos of my family. It's like you look at your family and you look at yourself when you're younger.
Yeah.
You're like, I made a promise to myself and I made a promise to my family.
Exactly.
Now you just look at that and you're like, how can you give up?
That's your why.
Exactly. That's your purpose and that's your fuel to keep going.
Yeah.
And you bring an excellent point on in regards to compounding. Because I feel like at the end of the day, there's so much that we can do that we don't necessarily realize. Like, 24 hours is a lot of time throughout the day, but we always complain it's never enough time. But you can make the time. It's about acknowledging like the time that you might have and building around it.
Yeah, like you said, winning the mornings, winning the starts and ends of your day. Because like that, those, if it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, those set the like tone for the rest of the day, right?
It's like it's the precursor.
Yeah, because you're not really guaranteed what happens in the middle of your day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like in the mornings, at nights, that's when like you can almost guarantee that you're able to like finish well, like start the day well, finish well. Whatever happens in between, that's like you'll be more or less prepared for that, right?
Right. And
Yes.
like I said, it's just it all compounds, it all builds together to
Exactly.
culminate into something greater that, like you said, at the end of the day, you look back and you tell yourself like, oh, how'd I get here? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're just like how'd I do that? How'd I do that?
Sebastian, we're at the time of this recording, we're T-minus 4 months from graduation, right?
It's crazy.
And you're going to be an Ivy League graduate from Columbia University.
It's crazy.
What are your ambitions? What do you want to do? What are your long-term goals?
Ooh, okay. So I have like different sorts of I have like short-term and long-term goals, right?
Okay.
If we're talking career-wise, I
Mhm.
want to get I want to like break into software engineering, right? Because that's been a goal of mine for a long time, and especially learning more about like computer science and like the different things you can do, and like having a job where you can like just make things, right? If you learn a skill and you can just like whatever you want to make, whatever like the company needs, or like being able to contribute to something that's like very much long-standing as well. So that's kind of how I view software engineering. And you can say that with any engineering really, but I think software engineering is what is calling me. In terms of long term, right? I've always wanted to like have my own company and start them. Like
Yeah,
a big
like-
thing for me
yeah.
was helping people, right, on a
Yeah.
much larger scale. So, wait, you're gonna say?
No, I mean I wanted to like elaborate more on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for me, for example, all of my family has been in health field, right? So my brother, as I mentioned, he was nursing my dad, right?
Mhm.
My sister is also going to school to be a nurse right now.
Okay.
So I've kind of like
Healthcare is ingrained in you.
healthcare is ingrained, but I figured I wanted to help people in that aspect, but through maybe like a different lens, right?
Okay.
Through an
Yeah.
engineering side where I feel that maybe not I can't help people on an individual level, but maybe on a larger scale, right? So big thing that I want to do is in God willing some years do my own thing, my own startup, and just whether it's in like the health field, the biotech field, because honestly the impact you can have there, one, it's like very much needed, and two, I just find it like super cool, like the technology that's being developed, like
I mean, yeah, we talk
Yeah,
about
it's ever changing and growing every single year.
cybersecurity, AI. We talk about like
yeah it's
that's-
insane.
It's the bubble is always growing every single day
Yeah.
that goes by. I mean, when I started Columbia, we didn't even have ChatGPT, and then by the end of by the end of like freshman year, starting sophomore year, like it was already being
Insane,
used,
yeah.
Back in my day, it was Chegg for life. Chegg was Chegg for life, man.
It's
Yo,
hard to imagine that changed everything.
what, to use Chegg?
No,
Like he just means like AI in general.
Yeah.
Because it simplifies your studying so easy, like when it in regards to
Yeah.
like asking, okay, I have all this material from class, explain it to me.
Yeah. But it's also dangerous.
And it is.
That's
'Cause
actually
all the storage that it takes up.
yeah.
You ever see those memes where it's like 2 sticks of RAM cost $900 because of this AI generated content?
Insane. That's actually what I've been trying to do in my content a bit actually right now. Because I realize AI is an important tool, right? It's not going anywhere, right?
No, it's
only
not.
that.
It's not going anywhere,
And
and
it's here.
It's here,
Yeah.
and I think more people just need to accept it,
No, 100%. Yeah.
to use it to its capabilities.
It's more just ethics at the end of the day. Like, how can we incorporate that it's going to better society in a humanistic way as possible?
No, I agree. Yeah.
Versus not letting it fall into necessarily the wrong hands, or like for people to use it for malintention.
I've been thinking on an individual level, right? Like,
Right.
like you think about like how much are people actually thinking, right? What's like is
Creative thought is dying,
exactly
right?
critical thinking is lowering now
Mhm.
because of AI and everything. I
Yeah.
found myself like kind of falling into that as well. Like I was using like whether it's like to help me, it's really good for learning things, but
True.
there can be a point where you cross that line and you're like, all right, now I'm forgetting my basics because like I'm using this as like kind of like to help me too much, right?
Yeah, just like any technology, any
Yeah,
new
exactly.
technology, you have to learn that it's a tool, not a crutch,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
If you depend on anything in this world, and the moment that you lose it, then you feel like you lost a part of yourself, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So I mean, you just look at iPhones, or well, not just iPhones, but phones in general nowadays, right?
Yeah.
No one can get out of their house without having that technology in their pocket.
That's true, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the second they don't have
Feels
it,
weird.
it feels weird. They feel like it's foreign. I mean,
It's like a
all
part
of
of you.
it literally is.
It's crazy.
Like I can't, if I leave my house and I forget my phone, I'm running back up. It's just no question about it.
It's like
right.
becomes part of your identity almost.
So yeah, so
Insane.
right. So with AI, I think again, us, our generation, our age, we are obviously in the peak, I guess the peak age for us to not only like experience this new wave of technology, but learning to understand it so that it doesn't consume us, but rather it goes, it augments and like it goes alongside us essentially, where it can make our lives better, but not worse.
Yeah, no, I agree.
For our viewers, you know, if you're watching right now, be on the lookout for Sebastian as he tries to ethically combat AI.
Yeah.
But do you ever think back to like how often, you know, like the world changes in such a like quick pace, in the sense that, you know, you're working into a field where the amount of technology that you're learning right now is immensely changing.
Mm-hmm.
Does it ever occur to you like how quick am I to adapt to this change? Or, you know, like for instance, you start college when AI is not really a thing and now you're like just working with it as you go. Or is it kind of like that?
Yeah, I think it's like being able to adapt like that is a major thing, especially like in this job economy. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta learn how to do these things, or else like you're getting replaced.
Yeah, you're getting cooked, bro.
Stuff is like it's so competitive now. Like you're like going on like for example the job market thing, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you're not using these tools, you're getting cooked. You're not gonna be able to compete, right? Because people are using this to like be able to learn faster, to like do other things, right? So like there's that. You know, being able to adapt is like very important
100%.
for like not only like academics, being able to like and like academics, right? And also like job, because at the end of the day, you're like, as much as like people don't want to admit, you're competing, right? You're competing like are you gonna get like the highest grade, right? Are you gonna get like the job offer versus like 1,000 other applicants, right?
Yeah.
Like what sets you apart?
What sets you apart?
Are
Yeah.
you leveraging your tools that you're using?
And
Right.
and it goes into like almost any field. I mean, I read a statistic the other day that it was like, I believe, don't quote me on this, but like approximately like 30% of Harvard MBA grads are like unemployed. And it goes to show you that like the school
Insane.
could only help you so much, but in reality, it's like the skill set that you acquire that's what differentiates you from the rest of your peers.
Yeah.
Yeah, your resume is all nice. It's just like it's you look good on paper, but in person, what are you?
Can
Who
you
are
actually
Exactly.
perform?
Can you are you
Exactly.
and like you mentioned about adapting is just understanding how can you stay ahead of the curve, right?
Yeah,
Or ride that or continuously ride that wave. Like again, going back, you know, again, as we say, AI is the new thing, right? But you can look at a similar thing that was rising while we were younger, and that was social media, right?
Yeah.
And again, as at the time when it was really on the come up, we were very young. We were just still developing, so we don't really understand what we're looking for.
Yeah.
But there's people around our age, younger kids who were born knees deep into it, right? Who now can who are able to succeed in social media in different ways financially, and have learned to in other ways win at it, right?
Yeah,
and those kids are the people that are ahead of the curve, right? So it's understanding, like I said, with AI, is learning to try to keep up with that. And if social media was one thing and AI is a new thing, eventually there's going to be another thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's again
Just gotta
going
keep adapting.
exactly. You just got to keep adapting. Nothing is going to stay the same. And you as a person have to understand: do you want to stay back, or do you want to continuously grow and progress with everyone else?
Yeah, no, 100%. That's like, you gotta be like the first of these things, right? Like the social media thing is so like,
Right.
It's like it's so true,
Yes.
because especially like there's so much. I think like the market is like we're kind of moving to like a creator economy.
Yeah.
The people who have like these platforms, and like the influence they have, or like the things that they want to do, it's just like so much. It's easier to make like these decisions, I feel, when you have like you know, people supporting you, when you have like a platform, right?
True.
And you can help more people at scale as well. That's kind of why I decided to start my content creation journey.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep it moving. I have big goals this year.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing them.
Yeah.
You know, and to be more specific, like you said, like companies in general, like you look, like basic companies who that have been active for years, decades, right? Things like, let's just say it's McDonald's, right? When they first came up, social media was not a thing. But now you look nowadays, and they have a team behind them to promote themselves through social media platforms, right? Those are the people, and those are the companies that stay on these trends, learn it, adapt from it, and continuously progress and evolve themselves. But then you look at others, like let's just say BlackBerry, right? The phone, it was, it was super cool at the time, right? With the
Still remember my
buttons.
cousins in DR using the phone.
Right. And
Used to have one.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember my mom and my dad had one. It was the best. I thought it was the best phone out there, man. And
It was
then
something.
right, and then the day that my dad came with an iPhone, I was like, nah, this is the best thing out there. But you look at, like I said, BlackBerry, like no one talks about it now because they didn't know how to adapt to the new stuff that was what iPhones, or Apple, I should say, was innovating at the time.
the smartphone,
And
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So it's just like that. It's understanding that if you can't adapt to other things, you're gonna stay behind and you're gonna get left behind, and people will eventually forget about you. At the end of the day, too, I mean, when we all pass, people are gonna forget about us. But how can you do something that is, I guess, remarkable enough that can be everlasting?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I always have the saying that you're gonna go, and everyone leaves this planet Earth eventually, and what remains is your tombstone, and you have that little dash,
The dash.
right?
Yeah,
And
dash.
it's like everyone's gonna see your name, the day you were born, the day you passed away, and then they're gonna see that dash in between, and they're gonna remember you what you did with that dash.
That's what they say. Live the dash.
Exactly.
Live
Live
the
the
dash.
dash. Because at the end of the day, it's like, what is it what do you want it to be your everlasting impact? And going back to like the social media thing, you think back to like this whole new tool of like SEO and search engine optimization, seeing how you have all the different contents and like different niches that exist. But like you mentioned, the same way you want to stand out in a job interview or when applying to grad school, same way you want to stand out making content, right? You can search up millions of creators making the same content. If they're into running, they're into motivation, they're into faith.
Yeah.
But how are you putting your individualistic spin on it? What is it that is really true about you and the character? Because that tends to be what the algorithm likes to see sometimes.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
goes back on authenticity, right? I think the people that make it are the ones that are not afraid to show like the ugly side. Per
Yeah.
Se, right?
Yeah.
'Cause people relate to that more. And especially like nowadays when like everyone is on social media, right? And there's so many people like faking it, right? That you just want to like
Be
I think it's
more
refreshing
authentic.
to see like someone, and maybe someone who's actually made it, but they like are very much authentic with their struggles, or like they've documented themselves going through, and that's like really inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between watching that and then someone faking a morning routine that they don't do on a
Yeah,
consistent,
exactly.
consistent
Right.
basis.
Exactly.
Like me slamming my head in like a bowl of like ice water, like pretending to be Ashton Hall when we know that 99% of people don't do that.
Yeah, no, and that's why you see a lot now. People, rather than just quote unquote creating content, but rather just trying to document themselves,
Right.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just showing
The raw power.
they're all, yeah, exactly, they're fully out there, just showing what they do on a day-to-day life, whether it's pretty, whether it's ugly, whether it's good, whether it's bad, but you see it all. And people are understanding, like, people just want to see more real. As we continue to see AI and you continue to see all these computer generated stuff that you can see as of right now is, yes, it's very real, real-ish. It's not. So people, as time goes on and we are more and more incorporating technology into our day-to-day lives, we're naturally going to want to have more real connections with people, right? Even if it's in front of a screen, but at least you can look through that screen and say, like, that is real.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the authentic part.
So yeah.
Now, Sebastian, looking back at everything we've kind of spoken about, and when it regards to motivation and consistency and your faith and who you are, what is your biggest piece of advice to our viewers watching right now that want to say, wow, I've learned so much from Sebastian. I want to be like him.
Ooh, I like this. Okay. I think I've kind of touched on this before, but just like, a lot of things in life are very much like unpredictable, right? Like you're not even guaranteed today, right?
Yeah.
But I think a general thing that people should be able to take from this is just, just like keep trusting that things will be fine, in the sense that you can't control like the outcomes of everything, right?
Yeah.
I found myself guilty of trying to do that, where like I'm trying to control whether it's how other people respond to or feel about me, whether it's opportunities that like I thought were in my hands but slipped away.
Right.
Whether it's even things like health thing, like of other people. Like there are a lot of things that you just can't control. And I think the moment you just like kind of let go of that and just accept the things that you can control
Exactly.
and just trust, pray, like trust God that things will be fine, that, you've made it this far, right? You still have your health, right? Or you still have like a lot of things to be grateful for, so that you'll end up fine. You'll end up all right. Like, especially now, we're young, right?
Yeah.
I'm 22. I'm going to be stressing about like entering my new, entering the career, right? And I'm stressing like, oh, where am I going to be at? What am I going to do? But, I'm 22 right now. Like,
It's gonna be fine.
You figure
it's
it
gonna
out.
be fine, right? Like I've been blessed with, being able to be here today, being able to like
Share your story.
share my story, right? And looking back at it, like in doing this, I've kind of realized like how far I've come. So just trusting that things will be fine and letting go of I think there's a lot of peace in like letting go of like certain outcomes you can't control.
100%.
Not to say you shouldn't be grinding and being consistent,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying like, nothing is really guaranteed.
For
So
sure.
just like keep that mentality as
Don't settle on the little things, but look at the bigger picture.
yeah, and just know that it's steps that matter. Like, what are you deciding today that you're gonna do, and that's gonna help you, right? So I think having that mentality is like very healthy, as you go through life.
No, yeah, that's beautiful,
So,
bro.
That was
That's fine.
so eloquently said.
Yeah, bro. No, well spoken, bro.
I think that's almost all the time we have for today. But
Yeah.
Sebastian, it's been a pleasure hearing your story, sharing some words of wisdom, that different side of Sebastian that we don't always see on his page. So a pleasure to have you as always.
Yeah, thank you for coming, bro. No, yeah, it was great.
I'm glad I got to share my story here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, guys.
Actually,
Well, guys, stay tuned for more episodes. Again, we always appreciate you guys for dropping a like or comment or even sharing. So make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another episode like this. This is your host, Jesse, signing off, and
Rafa, as always, you know the vibes.
Sebastian.
All right. Until next
Have a good
time.
one.
Deuces.